When you think of Toyota, what's the first image that pops into your head? For most of us, it's that flawless, hyper-efficient assembly line, right? A world of perfect processes we all know as the Toyota Production System, or TPS. It's the absolute gold standard that so many companies have tried to copy. But what if that legendary system isn't the full story? What if it's not even the most important part? Okay, so that quote right there is a bombshell. And not just because of what it says, but because of who said it. This isn't some outside critic or a business school professor. This comes directly from a senior manager deep inside one of Toyota's most advanced factories. They are telling us, straight up, that the very system the world thinks is their secret weapon, well, it isn't enough. So, yeah, that raises a pretty huge question, doesn't it? If it's not just about the world-famous production system, then what is the real formula for Toyota's success? What's the secret that's been hiding in plain sight this whole time? Well, that's exactly what we're going to unpack. And here it is. The real formula isn't one simple thing. It's three, and they're all connected. You've got the Toyota production system, sure, that's the technical how-to, but that's held up by the Toyota value, this deep-seated belief in always getting better and respecting people. And then there's this crucial third piece, their own unique management system. Think of it like this. TPS is the powerful engine, but the value is the driver, and the management system is the GPS that's constantly updating the route. So how does that three-part formula actually play out on the factory floor? Well, at their Gateway plant, they translated it into a brand new strategy, one built on three pillars that are designed to deal with all the chaos of the modern world. Now, the first two pillars here, competitiveness and flexibility, that's classic Toyota. That's always been in their DNA. But what's really fascinating is this third one, future transformation. This is a newer addition. It's basically Toyota admitting that what got them here won't get them there. It's a promise to totally rethink how they do things. And it all kicks off with empowering the folks on the front line. Take their daily Asakai, or morning meeting. This isn't about managers just barking orders. The teams actually gather around these physical boards, they look at yesterday's results, and they solve problems right then and there. This makes sure that everyone, from the newest person on the line all the way up to the plant manager, is involved in making things better every single day. And this just brilliantly shows that second pillar, flexibility. See, it used to be that when the factory switched over to build a new car model, it was chaos. It took a full 14 days for the assembly line to get back to running smoothly. Now look at that chart. Through constant tweaking and improving, they took that disruption and brought it all the way down to zero. They can flip to a new model with absolutely no drop in productivity. That is a massive, massive leap. But getting to that level of performance, well, it wasn't easy. Not even for Toyota. This wasn't some quick fix. It was a tough 18-month journey of transformation, and it was full of resistance, doubt, and some really hard-won breakthroughs. In a way, they had to fight their own success. Their whole journey happened in four pretty distinct phases. It started with denial, where everyone's comfortable and things are fine. Then came an awakening, this slow realization that change was necessary. That pushed them into action, the hardest part, which was actually doing the new stuff. And finally, all that work led to discovery, a totally new way of working and thinking. Let's dig into that a little. During that awakening phase, the leaders had to shatter this really powerful old mindset, which was basically, hey, we're Toyota, we're the best, why on earth would we change? The breakthrough really came when they adopted this new, much humbler metaphor. They decided to stop being the lion, the king of their own jungle, and instead become a cat looking at other jungles. To be curious, agile, and willing to learn from anyone, anywhere. Now, what's so powerful about this is the human side of change. During that action phase, the real resistance wasn't just on the factory floor. It was in the C-suite. You had leaders who had built their entire careers designing what they thought were perfect processes. And now they had to look in the mirror and admit that their life's work just wasn't good enough anymore. That is a deeply difficult personal thing to do. It just goes to show you transformation is an emotional journey as much as it is a technical one. So, after all that struggle, all that internal conflict, was it worth it? Oh, absolutely. The payoff wasn't just some new philosophy on a poster, it was concrete, you could measure it, and the results were massive. First up, they freed up an incredible 45,000 square meters of factory space. But here's the cool part. They didn't just shrink the building to cut costs. They reinvested that space back into their people, building new training centers and rest areas. That empty space became the fuel for the next wave of innovation. Next, they cut their parts inventory by a full 30%. In manufacturing, you gotta understand, inventory is basically just cash sitting on a shelf collecting dust. So this one change made the whole operation way leaner and more financially agile. It's a classic Toyota idea, just applied with a whole new level of intensity. But honestly, beyond the numbers, this was the most important result. The real transformation created a culture where the engineers and workers on the line felt truly empowered to dream up and test their own ideas. It completely flipped the engine of innovation from being top-down to being bottom-up. Great ideas weren't just coming from managers anymore, they were coming from everywhere. And all of this brings us right back to where we started. It forces us to completely redefine what we mean when we talk about the Toyota way. It's so much more than just a production system. So here's the main takeaway. The Toyota way is not a blueprint that you can just download and install. It's a mindset, it's a living, breathing philosophy that's built on two core, unshakable principles: a relentless search for improvement, what they call Kaizen, and a profound respect for the people who are actually doing the work. The real secret isn't in their rulebook. It's in the constant, messy, people-driven struggle to always get better. And that really leaves us with one last thought. Toyota's biggest hurdle wasn't a competitor, it was its own long history of being successful. So as we wrap this up, it's probably worth asking yourself, in your own work, or even in your own life, what's the past success that you're holding on to so tightly that it might be getting in the way of your next big transformation?